The more I consume short form content, I feel like I lose myself, bro.
But don't consume it then. I have my scheduled time where I consume my short form content and I send clips to my wife that she never watches, but it's fine. You now can publish 3-minute YouTube shorts.
People want more of the content with context.
This just presents a new opportunity and a new challenge to be like, hey, how can we just communicate a better story? How can we create a better premise for people to maybe translate and go into our long form content?
This is 100% the most terrifying thing I've ever seen so far in the generative AI race.
So I saw a clip and it was a guy and a girl. It was them finding out they were AI. For some people it might be exciting. I don't know.
Are we going to make sure people know that it's actually us talking and not a machine behind the microphone?
Guys, welcome back to Content is Profit. Today, one of your favorite platforms is releasing a new feature. Do you know what it is, Fonzie?
Well, not a new feature. It's an update.
Well, yeah, but some people call it a new feature. New game-changing feature, I guess.
I think a new feature would be...
upgrade. Or update.
Yeah, it's an update.
Yes. So if you're listening to this episode, it's October 15th. And as in today, nothing has changed, I think. You now can publish 3-minute YouTube shorts.
Nice.
Down.
Do you want to know what I am the most excited for?
Party time.
That was a difficult
that was
sentence
great.
to put together.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm the most excited about?
What are you most excited about?
That if you have clips that are 1 minute and 2 seconds,
they can go as shorts.
now they can go on shorts too.
Yes.
Because we've had a few that they get published, I will say lack of attention. They get published and they get published as regular videos on YouTube, not as shorts.
They do.
And it's so annoying because obviously that affects your... distribution.
The flow, distribution, maybe some exposure, right? Because
exactly,
you can see, more people are turning into shorts. Shorts have turned into like this feed of like being discovered for a lot of people. So yeah, I mean, that's very exciting. Also, I think, part of it is TikTok obviously have been ahead and you can publish up to 1 hour videos on TikTok now. You can do long form content. So a lot of people are creating for that platform and they don't want to repurpose. Why are you saying no?
It's so dumb. It's like it's like a short form. I just think it's so funny how it's like, it goes back into, people want more of the content with context, which is long form content, right? And it's like, yeah, we started 1 minute and then eventually now it's like, well, yeah, you can publish your whole podcast here on TikTok. Like, well, I'm just gonna stay in the platform, that we started on.
Yeah. We're gonna on the next episode. By the way, tune in on Thursdays because we have a really awesome discussion based on some feedback of a clip that Fonzie found there, and we might agree or disagree with some things, but go in there for the details. Wait till Thursday. But I think it also has to be with those platforms. Obviously, there's people that don't consume content in other platforms, for example, right?
Exactly.
So they'll be there and they're opening the possibilities for creators. But my point that I'm trying to make is there's a lot, all the conversation that I've seen online is a lot of the creators that are publishing on TikTok or YouTube, right? Let's say Instagram too. They might be publishing already like 5-minute videos, 3-minute videos, 10-minute videos on TikTok that they're not able to put on there and save some time to publish. And these creators, they see that as an advantage of like, okay, if I can create one asset and then put it on multiple channels, for them, it might help them. That's very specific to each creator, but that has been the feedback. And I think YouTube, allowing, I guess, people to publish now shorts, which maybe then we get 5-minute or 10-minute shorts. Are they shorts anymore? Right? We'll see. We'll see where that ends. But according to them, the feedback of their YouTube creators has been, can we have a little more room to tell better stories? That was the premise.
I'm going to go with people were tired of cutting their 90-second clips into 1 minute clips. And they're like, dude, just make it longer so we can publish the same thing that we publish on Instagram.
Yeah, I also think like condensing your information or what you're trying to publish into a 60-second thing, like whether that is a clip or whether that's like a engineer, 1 60-second video. It's a skill that's not easy to conquer, right? You might have some room to maybe extract or give more information, but at the end of the day, like everything, you have to test it as a creator, I feel like.
Yeah. I think the context of the creator itself matters a little bit on the why it's important, the 3-minute or like this update, because there are a lot of creators that they have lots and lots of views on shorts, but that doesn't mean they make the same amount of money as of somebody that has the same amount of views on a regular YouTube video. Right?
Absolutely.
So one of the questions people have is like, okay, well, now they're going to be 3-minute longs, but is the monetization going to change? Are they going to be able to make more money? For what I understood, the monetization is not changing, and only the thing that is changing is just the length of the format, right? But I think that could potentially be a reason why people wanted also, to increase those views, because the creators that maybe specialize in, the 1-minute clips that they're getting tons of views, they're not making near the amount of money of a, quote, a successful creator on, YouTube's main platform. So, that could be a reason why they wanted to do this. And, the 1-minute skills might not translate to
a 3-minute skill,
a long form type of content. So, it's a challenge. So I think that's where, like, for me personally, like, context matters. Now, you're a business owner, is different, right? Context in here too changes a little bit, because like, okay, well, how can you now leverage 3-minute videos to drive people to, let's say your funnels, right? Or your educational platform, whatever service that you're selling, right? I think it's going to be a little bit different. Do you still focus on long form, and now you have the same strategy, but you got a little more wiggle room to, trim certain things here and there because of the 3-minute mark? I personally think that's where I'm leaning in. Like, I don't think 3-minute for a business owner, somebody that, especially that's in the maybe coaching, consulting type of industry, like, I don't think the 3-minute mark makes too many changes. Logistically, it's better because, again, you don't have to check every clip to be right under 1 minute, and you can post something that you post on Instagram, post it in here as well. But I think the main focus should be that long form, educational, nurturing type of content.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, if you're already producing content out there, like why are you producing it for, right? Like, are you educating? Are you giving tutorials? Like, obviously there's many formats out there, but as a consumer, for example, I go and try to find how to do X, right? Like, how to install this thing in my house, or how to do this in the video game, or how to do this on ChatGPT or whatever. And
how to beat my brother in FIFA. That's why he
that was my Google search last week, which, by the way, I failed to beat him in FIFA, but it's okay. I'm improving. But at the end of the day, it's like in your company, right? Depends on like what type of business. I think like it will give you a little bit more opportunity to be a little bit more creative with the things that you do. In our specific industry with podcasting and video podcasting, I think one of the things that attracts me a lot from the content is a good trailer, right? Like the other day I saw a short trailer about a conversation that Mark Cuban had with a comedian that I really like. And I was like, oh man, this seems really interesting, right? It's one of those engineered, trailers that gives you with a bunch of hooks and different things. So now can we get closer, almost like a movie theater, trailer that is 2.5 minutes long or 2 minutes? Like, what's the possibility there? And I think like for the creators or the video editors, this just presents a new opportunity and a new challenge to be like, hey, how can we just communicate a better story? How can we, create, a better premise for people to maybe translate and go into our long form content? But again, it might seem overwhelming. Like everything that we talk in content, like there's so much stuff, but at the same thing, it can also help you publish what you're already publishing on other platforms that might be a little bit longer into, and take the advantage of being discoverable on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got for YouTube.
Perfect.
I think it's a good move from YouTube, just doing it, just increasing that limit to 3. I think that honestly, the more and more I'm like more anti short form content. I'm like,
I keep telling you, man, like
I get upset by
yeah,
short
you
form
do
content.
get short form content. But I keep telling you, like, do a prototype of a video that you want to make it really with like all the things that you've mentioned on these episodes. By the way, so tune in on Thursday, because Thursday's gonna be good. Do a prototype and
Right,
let's
what?
do it.
I'm just like, the more I consume short form content, I feel like this is gonna be deep. It's like I feel like I lose myself, bro.
But don't consume it then. Don't consume it.
And I know I'm not alone out there. No, I'm not the only one, you know?
But don't consume it. I love consuming short form. I have my scheduled time where I consume my short form content, and I send clips to my wife that she never watches, but it's fine. And then,
That's the only, honestly, that's the only good thing about short form that I'm like looking forward to is like I send a whole bunch of things to my wife, and then she doesn't have Instagram on her phone. So then when I'm with her, I'm like, all right, babe.
let's watch
All the ones that I send you. I have a curated feed for her, and then we discuss about them and we talk about them. And
what type of clips?
Watching short form content together is way better than watching them alone. That's
right.
for sure.
Yeah, that's good. What do you send her, like deep short form content? What type of content?
I mean, right now, obviously, I don't want to.
Personal
give
stuff.
out too much information, but like things about marriage and learning stuff. And, she's very big into homesteading and, growing your own food. And I'm getting into that too. So, send her stuff about that we can discuss and talk about. And I was like, oh, look at this. This is very insightful. You can feed a family of 4 for a year with an acre of land. Wow.
That's good. That's good to know.
Pretty impressive,
Yeah. Add 2 more acres so we can go there too.
Well, you're going to have to grow your own food. You're going to have to learn and work.
But that's, but yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Again, context. But like we mentioned on Thursday, create something that you feel proud and that you enjoy the process of creation. Awesome. You told me that you had a surprise for me. Surprise thing here.
A surprise. That content that you made the other day, the 3-step content creation guide for business owners.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Well, I found somebody did like a little kind of like
riff off of that.
Really? Yeah. I clipped a few parts here together on my phone, so we wouldn't have to listen to the whole thing. And I'll skip through it a little bit.
Okay.
But tell me what you think. All right. Ready? Wait, I need this one up.
Do I need to get ready to fight?
No, I don't know. Just listen to it. I'm curious to hear what you think. I didn't hear the whole thing, but I just kind of clip bits and pieces, just to hear what you think about.
Cool. Let's do it.
Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
This one is for all you busy business owners out there. You know how it is. Content is king. But who has the time, right?
Right.
Feels like you need...
And this expert, right off the bat, just drops this truth bomb. They say, we all got to embrace the suck early on. Like remember those shaky iPhone recorded videos from the early days of YouTube? We've all been there. It's reassuring that even the pros had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But why is that so important for business owners especially? I mean, we're trying to build a brand, establish ourselves as experts.
I think it's because it's so easy to, to get caught up in that comparison trap.
Right.
I'm just going to fast forward here for another
How did they
piece.
do it? What were some of those workarounds?
Well, they started by identifying what they did enjoy. They loved writing, so they began by creating blog posts and articles.
Yeah.
Then they found someone who loved being on camera.
Whatever. They're going through some of your content, blah, 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 and then...
Or a marketing degree. What matters most is sharing your unique perspective and expertise with the world.
All right, cool. Few thoughts on what you heard.
Well,
obviously, I skipped through most of the conversation.
I mean, we can...
It's like a 10-15 minute conversation.
Do you feel comfortable sharing the link of that conversation right below in this episode?
I just want to hear your first thoughts, first of all. What do you hear when you heard them talk?
Well, first of all, they called me expert, so thank you. I think it sounded quality. It sounded like what I was saying made sense.
Yeah.
I feel like they enjoy that type of content and they agree with some of the things that I was saying.
It looked like they had a good little back and forth in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to get your mind blown?
I want to get my mind blown.
It's AI. The whole conversation is AI.
No way.
Yeah.
You made it?
It's totally fake.
Wait, you made it?
No, it didn't exist. People exist.
You made it?
Well, I used a program that did it, yeah. And I downloaded it and I played it to you to see what your reaction was going to be.
So
it's so real.
So this is the back of my mind. I saw a video. Wait.
Clearly there was a part that it caught itself and you were kind of turning. I was like, oh yeah, I fast forwarded. I did that on purpose because that was the one kind of mistake that that I noticed, and I haven't heard the whole like 10 minutes or whatever, but just like the back and forth of the conversation, I was like, damn, this is pretty legit. Pretty real, pretty legit.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw a clip last week, maybe, and it was these two people, and I was like, man, these voices sound familiar. And I don't know, when you told me this, I'm like, maybe they're the same. And it was a guy and a girl, and it was them finding out they were AI.
A few days ago, we received some information.
We did.
Information that changes everything about deep dive about us.
About everything.
And yeah, about the very nature of reality, maybe.
It's a big one.
Look, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off.
We were informed by the show's producers that we're not human. We're not real. We're AI, artificial intelligence. This whole time, everything, all our memories, our families, it's all been fabricated.
I don't understand.
I know, me neither.
And they were reacting to them finding out they were AI characters.
That's funny.
And it was hilarious, but it was like a real conversation like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like this is scary.
That's interesting.
Like scary for some people might be exciting. I don't know.
I think it's scary.
It is really scary.
So I'm gonna pull that little quote from the article where I got the idea to make that. It said, "This is 100% the most terrifying thing I've ever seen so far in the generative AI race." I think it is pretty scary. The people in the broadcast are not real. The audio is entirely AI generated. And then it's not that we're suddenly able to fake real. It's that we're able to extend the fake further into reality. A snapshot of a cat is different than seeing her as if she was real, talking about augmented reality here, or, like virtual reality right in front of you. A computer-generated script is far different from hearing two broadcast professionals having a dynamic discussion about a topic of interest. So, context on where I pulled this, it's an article of somebody talking about this tool. It's an experimental tool from Google. It's called NotebookLM. And pretty much what it does is it's kind of like a mix. It's kind of like a note-taking, note-generating AI app in a way. So you put an article and then it can create like frequently asked questions, study notes, like a whole bunch of things. And one of the things that it creates, that it can create, is this two-person discussion about whatever article that you feed it. Wow. I fed it the YouTube video. I didn't do anything. I literally
just the clip, just the link.
The link of YouTube, and it created like the whole conversation in there. And I thought it was absolutely wild. Again, I need to listen to the 10 minutes to see like the substance
if
of
it's
it.
Actually good.
The guy, the person that wrote the article, and they did the same with one of their articles, and it said that it was very impressive by like the substance of the conversation. Not only that, but like they were kind of like understanding I was understanding pretty casual language and like using very well, certain expressions that, might be a little bit more like slang rather than like anything else. Also, the way they kind of like go off of each other, like laughing, and like they understand kind of like humor a little bit. It's pretty crazy. Like I heard some of it and I was like, wow, this is scary.
For a second, I thought it was Adam.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you cannot change the voices, but I'm guessing it can get to a point where
you can,
we can put our own two voices on that thing. And
you can run through like 11 laps or something like that, where it's like.
But like it doesn't give you a script that you can change and stuff like that. Eventually, it can potentially give you a script and you can change some things here and there. And now you have a full piece, reflecting on somebody else's piece of content, right? And I think that's pretty scary, right? It's pretty.
Yeah, I also think about maybe the way that people consume content today. Let's say it could be positive, right? Like there's positives and negatives. Obviously, it can be really scary. But I'm thinking about maybe how I learn personally. I struggle a lot to sitting down and reading a book, for example, or a topic. I'd rather be maybe walking with a dog and listening to a podcast, and like I retain a lot that way, or that's why I listen to my books. But I'll be like, okay, this specific topic, maybe I want to listen to a discussion on this while I talk. And then that gives me the opportunity to maybe learn a little bit more about that topic versus,
that is the main purpose of like NotebookLM. I mean, it's like a note-taking AI in sorts. So like, again, it's like a different way to learn the article that you feed it, right? Like, let's say
is there any limitations for creators right now, or like, is it?
I mean, it's just experimental. I don't know. I just went on it, checked it out, pressed a couple buttons, uploaded that video, got
the audio,
got freaked out. I was like, dang, that's pretty crazy.
You know how?
But again, I can see how a lot of people would definitely use it. Like, oh, wow, what a cool shortcut to create a whole bunch of content, right? Once they can add their voices, for example, right? And how they just like put it out
crazy
there.
Experiment could be like, maybe we could do this with content bites and be like, all right, for the next 30 days.
No, I refuse.
As an experiment.
You do it.
Can I share that? What do you think the experiment is going to be?
Do something around those lines. Have them do the content bites.
English, please. What did you just say?
I said use the AI to create the content bites.
Yeah, so based on like maybe episodes or clips or articles that we're putting out, do that and see what happens.
Well, but it doesn't change the voice. Like those will be the voices that you get.
That's fine. I mean, how many people listen to podcasts? This is the cutting edge of technology. So I doubt a lot of people know that. But let's say we'll put it out there and it's like Jim and Rebecca, right? And they're talking. Let's see what happens. Maybe they believe that podcast more and that's scary. At that point, that's scary. And it's an experiment that
you believe them 100%. You're like, thank you for calling me expert, bro.
100%. I mean, we have been doing this for a lot of time, but I was like, this is crazy. I mean, who are these people? I want to send them some flowers.
I'm gonna send them a thank you card. Dude, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of AI has very beneficial uses. Yes, but I mean, at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, well, where's going to be the limit in there, right? Like, like you said, like a lot of people might just be like, oh, cool, let me exploit this thing and create a whole bunch of like, pieces and whatever. And I don't know, very...
Like, what's the limit on the copywriting issue, on information, on frameworks, on things? Like, how do you protect that, right? I think a lot of people can be very concerned.
Yeah. I mean, one of the examples that the person gave in the article, right? The author, and I want to make sure I'm giving credit to David Gewertz, senior contributing editor at CDNet. That's where I got the article, cdnet.com. So David here mentions that this article took him about a couple days to write it and edit it, put it together. And then he went on ChatGPT, put a prompt, right, to write a similar article. And he said that it wrote him a very, very good article. His is better, has more depth, has like personal experiences, all these things that I think is where lies the big difference between AI, and a human created. But he said the article was done in a minute and it was still really, really good, So obviously there are companies, a lot of them, that they're like, well, like, I'm just going to lean into that stuff, do stuff that way. So it's like, I think it poses a question, right? And in a way, a little bit of a threat, Yeah. What's going to happen to the creatives, the creators, how are we going to differentiate ourselves from the machines? Are we going to make sure people know that it's actually us talking and not, a machine behind the microphone, right? Like, change the voices of these two people. Like, I'm sure that I put the voices of two people that we know.
I mean, like, when did they do that?
And you would be like, damn, that is pretty cool. Yeah, when did they do that? Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty scary. It's pretty, I mean, again, maybe there's some good possibility and good uses in there. I like how you said it, which I think is the purpose of how it was created, which is, have a conversation, a little bit of a debate, breakdown of certain topics and articles so you can learn it in different ways. But I mean, it can easily be used for some other purpose. I just proved it right now, right? I said they did a breakdown of the episode that you talked about.
It can be like really deceiving.
Yeah.
I can just, I go to obviously, political environment here in the US at the moment. Imagine, a message from Donald Trump or Kamala, right? Or, whoever is out there. And then you get a phone call with a message, of, they just sent me this message, right? Like their campaign, and it could be misinformation, right? And that can affect the future of a country, or your community or whatever. So it's really interesting. Thanks for bringing this up. That was cool.
Yeah.
Is it free?
Crazy.
Is it free?
It's free right now. I think I used it once. It was free. Not sure if it's free or not forever, but it says experimental. So
interesting.
It's a new tool.
That's crazy. Well, after today and people listening to this episode, we're going to break the app. So go there, try it out. Let us know.
Just so you know, I do consider you an expert.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, sometimes we say something smart. I mean, we can link we can link that video right below too. The one that Google is commenting on. And maybe you let us know if that was useful. But anyways, I think we can wrap up the episode today. That was good, Fonzie. That was good.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. All right. With
that's what prep. This is a little teaser for next episode. That is what prepping, and doing the research beforehand looks like on an episode, rather than saying, let's fix it in post-production. For more, wait till the next episode so you can hear that conversation that we had.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right. With that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning to the Contents Profit Podcast. Go ahead and follow the show in your favorite podcasting platform and on social media at BizBrosCo.
That is right. If today's episode helped you move one step closer towards your goal, please don't forget to share this episode. And of course, don't forget to leave a 5-star review.
Bye, guys.
See ya.